I'd like to introduce, my name is Joe Friedman. I'm president of Artists in Palm Beach County. We have been residents here at this location since November of last year. And we're growing, and we are getting more and more local people coming to see what's going on here. And we can thank the town of Lake Park for a great deal of this, providing this venue. Ray is going to demonstrate some of his work tonight. Ray's been a member of Artists in Palm Beach County for a long time.
Thank you.
That goes back to and this will give you some background before we got started, and he's going to show you tonight.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Thank you for being here. I am a trained artist. I have gone to art school. I have a degree. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts. So even though my work looks the way it looks, it's that way because I wish it to look that way. It's not because I'm dumb, stupid, or but I do have a sense of humor. What I do is I like to do character interpretations. I've been working many different ways throughout my life, but I haven't really spent time on on my work. Around 4 years ago, I ended up with a lot of framed photographs crowding out my one-bedroom apartment, and so I decided that I wasn't going to do any more art. I would just sketch, and I have a place in Cleveland. I go there in the spring and the fall. I went to Cleveland in the spring and only sketched, and then I started getting these strange,
That's for you.
these strange things started happening, and this is an example of the earliest work in this style. This is on lined paper. It's music notation paper, and it's pencil and then felt tip marker, and it's not thoroughly colored. It's just sort of colored, and you can pass this around if you want to. There are things in there. Most of them are not censored, but be mature. When I got to this sketchbook, I started inking the pictures in more solid, and that's what you see in the books, in these books here, where where almost the whole thing is filled in. This is graph paper, and a lot of the work that I've done up until now has a graph look to it. It's very pixelated. So that's...
Is that yours behind?
Yeah, these are mine. Not this, but these up there. And recently, this past spring, I had access to live models, so that's where this picture came from, and I'm working with live models, and since they don't have clothes, I can't work off of the pattern on clothes, so I'm struggling with how to do the body without clothes, and I'm finding it quite interesting, and I have a ways to go. This man needs a seat. There's some seats back there. What I did first is so I've got a sketch of somebody in the room, and now what I'm going to do is just ink it in. And if you were watching the video over here, that's one drawing, one painting done from beginning to end, that video there.
Did we see it again?
You'll get to see it.
It's good.
I am an intuitive artist. I don't do anything. When I'm doing my sketching, I don't think about what I'm doing. I just do it. I do what I see. I don't censor what I put down. And if you've noticed, I include words. I love words and I love people, and so that's why I do people and that's why I do words. The words usually have nothing to do with the paintings or the drawings. Write it down for me. Now, here we are. Now, it's very simple. What I do next now, when I work on it. Oh, I'm sorry. I know better.
Thank you so much.
What did she say?
She said it really looks like me. So I need to thank her.
It's the character. It's the character. That's what. I never know when the words are going to come. So some of these pictures I started maybe 3-4 years ago, and I still haven't finished them. And maybe some of them will never get finished. One thing I've learned though, if you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Okay, so now we have the character. It's the character. And then what I do with my sketches, almost all of them have my logo, and that's me in my glasses. So I'm going to find a place. How about on your necklace? Is that okay? Okay, John, I'll stare at your camera. Okay, so there's my necklace. Okay.
What's the word?
Oh, that's RN. That's my.
No, what did you write?
Oh, it's the character.
Okay, good.
And it's hard to see even close up. So now it comes to what colors to use. And this is usually hard, and I usually have to stare at something until something pops at me. But with 36 colors, I find that I use about 12 or 14 of them. And so I have lots of pinkies and oranges and greens, and so when I run out of colors, I throw them out. So this is what I'm left with. This part of it, I mean, that's really exciting. This goes real slow, and I'm not going to bore you with too much of this. If you have up until the last maybe 6 or 8 months, I would take a finished color drawing that I liked, and then I would transfer it onto the larger canvases. And that's how I did it. That's a copy of the small. They're all copies. That's a copy of. They're all the copies of smaller drawings. When I started working on the 4 feet by 5 feet, I had a hard time transferring them, and I was ending up with drawings that were so much different from the sketches that I just started sketching right on the canvas.
Yeah.
And it sort of freaked me up, and I'm sort of going in a little bit of a different direction, and that's one of the reasons why.
Is there a grid on the canvas?
No. But when I was doing the grid work, when I was doing these, I would sketch them in with a pencil. But now I hardly ever sketch.
It's like looking at your
Tell your son.
She's so concerned. I'm so concerned with that.
I don't know. If it was you, I would do a blue.
Oh, okay.
Now this is the sketch I did. You want to raise your hand so everybody knows? Oh, very nice. Now none of these are statements of what the model is. It's a statement of what my relationship to the model is. And a lot of my work is done anonymously. We go to a lot of McDonald's, and the most wonderful characters in the world come from McDonald's.
I have a question for you, Ray. Where did you study?
I studied, I went to community college for a year and a half, and then I went to the art school, the Society of Arts and Crafts, which is affiliated with the Detroit Institute of Arts, which they're trying to steal their art from them. And then I went to Eastern Michigan University and got my Bachelor of Fine Arts and my art education credentials. I took coursework at the University of Michigan. Then I studied at the Art Institute in Chicago and the University of Chicago, but I didn't study art there. I studied social work. That was a mistake. And
Sound like
now, composition is really important to me, and this picture needs intention. So right now, I'm already thinking I need to do some stretching of the figure to the outside perimeter. Figure out a way to make it easier for everybody, but it's just not easy. And we don't have any words yet. Okay, Martha?
What artists most influenced you, Ray?
Me?
I love it.
No, it's the truth. I love all artists. You know, anybody that's on a wall or anybody that's trying to communicate something. And I love seeing all of a person's work, and of course you can't see it all, but that's what impresses me as far as a person's work. But no, the painting I'm working on at the moment is what I like best. I like doing it. And then some of them don't turn out.
How do you know when you're doing
When I don't know what to do next. Like I'll sit I'll sit looking at it for a week or 2 or 6 months, and I have no, finally I figure I must be done.
So, Ray, you said you work with one color at a time. So, like right now, you're working with the blackish color there. So you're going to paint everything in that picture that is that color, and then that'll be the end of that color. Is that right?
It doesn't quite work that specifically, because I'll go back to colors. I'll repeat colors. Because that's part of the composition is if you work over here and you've got yellows and blues and pinks, and then you start working over here and you've got pinks, and then you make it, so you start bouncing the colors around the canvas.
But you said you only work with one color at a time.
Yeah. Now, I'm cheating because I've got gray and black in here.
Oh, so that's cheating.
That's cheating.
Uh-oh.
So maybe I'm going to a new stage.
But when you're painting normal, not at the moment, so you would like, if you were doing red, you'd paint like everything there that you knew you wanted red, and then you would stop. Like maybe the next day you'd go and paint yellow or blue.
You've noticed sometimes you call me and I say, John, I'm busy painting pea green.
Right.
I've done that. And that's what I'm doing. And I would not go from this to that for 45 minutes like I've done just now. I would go sit in the chair and look at it from a distance. I haven't looked at this from a distance yet. I would...
You'd contemplate it.
Yeah, I do a lot of thinking. Sometimes I'll play computer games, only one computer game. Just or I take a nap.
Diversion.
Yeah.
Ray, can we see the canvas from here?
name is Reuben. And he's got the most wonderful smile, and he's so friendly, and whenever we talk, whenever I had to take a photograph of him, he always shakes my hand. He's just so polite, and so anyway, I just respect him. I like him, and so that's this one. And this one I'm staring at. And he's staring back at me, as you can see. And I don't want it to look just like him. I don't want it to be handsome or attractive or beautiful, or I just want it to be what it's going to be. And it's moving along. The other one that I brought, a couple of weeks before I started working on the Reuben painting, I went on the internet, Facebook, for something, and a friend of mine from the artist group was on, and she had a photograph that a professional photographer did of her, and it was just a spectacular photograph. I found myself really, really liking that photograph, and I don't work from photographs. I haven't been working from photographs, but I liked it, so I asked her if I could use it as, and she said, oh, she was just thrilled that I could do that. She was pleased. And she's those of you that know her, she's a very skilled, very accomplished artist. So this is Nina, and she looks just exactly like this. And I'm still staring at Nina. I'm still looking at her lips.
That's good. That's good one of her.
The way I did her eyes is different from what I would normally do, and I like the eyes, so I'm not worried about them. And the lips are a little loose, but I haven't painted on them. I haven't painted on them in maybe 3 weeks now, so maybe I'm done with this.
So the impression I get is that you're not looking at detail as much as you are looking at the basic shapes, say, that make up the face in larger terms, and that is what you're portraying, as you say, like a caricature. You're not trying to get every little eyelash and every little wrinkle or whatever of a person.
Basically, when I do a sketch, I'm not looking at anything. I'm relating to, through all my senses, kinesthetically and vestibularly, and lots of other ways. We have so many different senses that we don't even know about. So in the early stages, I'm not consciously thinking of anything. I'm just letting my body relate to, and you saw when I did it, I just, I'm not thinking. When I'm at this stage, I'm making decisions, but I'm trying not to be overly thoughtful, because I don't need it at that
You're
point.
ruined.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you overpaint something. That's when you start second guessing yourself. And so, yeah.
I can tell you in terms of representation, that portrait of Nina is Nina. If any of you here know who she is,
Yes.
you know that that's who it is. It's like you see many of the great artists in the past, as I mentioned before. Well, they'll do a portrait and you say, gee, that looks like a child did it. Well, Matisse used to say, that's great, that's exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to do it without any external influence, which is kind of what Ray does. He doesn't let anything else follow except what he's looking at and what he sees.
When I went to university, my mentor, and I trusted, I told him that I wanted to be a primitive artist. He says, you can't do that, you know too much. And so I accepted that. But in the back of my mind, I've always felt that primitive stuff. And I taught art to elementary school children for many years. And I loved their work. And they knew I loved their work, and that's why they loved coming to my art classes because I didn't teach them how to do anything. I allowed them to do what they knew how to do already. And that's what I do. So I let myself do what I know I can do. But it's taken me 73 years to know how to get all these pieces in my life to come together. And it's been very exciting.
Are you finished
Am I finished? No.
developing?
I'm still breathing.
No, I mean, technique.
Oh, no. I told the woman who gave me my first one-person gallery show down in Coconut Grove in Miami. Her name is Anna Maria Windish Hunt. She lives now in Lake Worth. And recently I saw her and I was talking about how excited I was about getting to the work I was at and that I was happy with where it was. And she just smiled and said it'll change. And it has. And she allowed me to think about the fact it is changing. I haven't done the pixels on the larger paintings. And I love the pixels, but 1,000 of them should be enough.
Ray, that one that's hanging on the wall, the camera could not see that before. Can you
Get out of the way.
this one? No, that one.
This one here?
Yes, and because of the angle, we couldn't see that. So if you could show that to everyone and give us another little explanation of, because this is one of your newer ones?
Yeah, this was done in Cleveland this spring. And just before I left for Cleveland in February, March, I had decided I wanted to go to life drawing classes because I hadn't done that since art school. And that's a great way to learn how to do what you're doing. And I hadn't found anything down here. But the first week we were in Cleveland, we went to our local arts place and bought tickets for one of the performances they were giving. And on the marquee it said, drop in life drawing classes. So for $20 I get 3 hours of a nude model, and it was exhausting, but it was wonderful. And this was the first model. No, this was the second model we had. And this is shut up. You hear the teenagers and the young people go, shut up. I just love that because we're taught in school, especially, you're taught not to say shut up to the children. And yet the youth today have made that into quite a humorous and dimensional kind of communication.
The shut up, the words, that almost could be like graffiti on the wall behind them, they're not integrated into the.
Absolutely.
That's evolution.
I love graffiti. I love primitive art. I love propaganda art. I love big letters doing things.
Do you have a rule that you always have to have words, or?
No, I like words, and I almost always put words in. Some of my pictures, some of my drawings don't have words. All my paintings do.
You ever start one thing and have it finish up something rather different, or do you know what you're
In the past, that happened a lot, and that's how you get mud. The more you do, the more colors you put in, the muddier it gets. So
you learn discipline?
well, I'm an undisciplined person. That's my nature. I thought I was an abstract expressionist. Well, if you have no controls, like someone like me, you go on and on and on and on, and you get nothing. So having the pixelated, the lined papers, the lined sketch papers, forced me to be disciplined because it disciplined me. So I love it, and I will keep going back to the sketchbooks because I have new sketchbooks that are. I didn't bring any, but they're recycled. And if I find a black and white book for 10 cents at a flea market, I get it. I found one someone left at the McDonald's again, and it was how to play the drums. and I'm doing sketches on top of, and there's music notation in that, of course, so I'm used to working on music notation. But my newest one is square dancing for learners. And it's a lot of words and a lot of diagrams. So I have my shapes that I have to work within.
Thank you, Ray.
Yes, thank you.